Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach Radash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles of the Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. And Shalom to the one-third of Yasharallah, who is today known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. Let me start off with this scripture. This is Mark 13 and 25. And the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. This is what Yahushai referred to in when he told people, and actually let me read it a little bit. It says, but in those days after the tribulation, this is verse 25, but in those days after tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds in the great powers of his glory. And then shall he send his angels, and shall gather together the elect from the four winds, and from the uttermost part of the earth, and the uttermost parts of heaven. So, in this case here, the Yahushai is explaining what the end of the world is going to be like, and he explained how the powers of heaven are going to be shaken, and they're going to fall. The stars of heaven and the powers of heaven. And what stars are falling right now? You're seeing a lot of movie stars and TV stars being accused of things right now, and are falling to this media hype. Now, in this recent case I'm going to highlight, it's about Bill Cosby, America's #1 wholesome father. Now, this man here, he tells you here, says, Bill Cosby walked into the courtroom before the verdict was announced on April 26th. I'm just going to read this real quickly. It says, a Pennsylvania jury found Bill Cosby guilty of 3 counts of aggravated and indecent assault on Thursday. One of the first major criminal convictions since the beginning of the Me Too movement, and a vindication for a dozen women who said the comedian known as America's Dad dragged and sexually abused them. In most of those cases, the statutes of limitations passed long before the women came forward. But in 2005, Bill Cosby was charged with the 2004 assault of Andrea Castan, and said Cosby had given her pills in his suburban Pennsylvania home and left her incapacitated and then molested her. The case first went to trial in June of 2017 and ended in a mistrial. Then came the Me Too movement after the New York Times and the New Yorker reported that the widespread allegations of sexual abuse of Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein's. More and more stories came pouring out about high-profile men who abused their power. Now, this thing here that you're seeing, like physically, we know this as they're simply turning on Bill Cosby, and you know, basically he's getting his ass handed to him, right, by these fucking devil women. Right, or these women are the ones who basically are facilitating this revenge, or this takedown of Bill Cosby. You see, this happened years ago, back when Bill Cosby was in his heyday, back in the 80s. Now, these women who were supposedly sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby, all of a sudden they come forward now, right? They come forward now and they start sharing the things that they knew about him. So what does that mean? That means that these women had been quieted, had been shut up, and basically made to go away, or at least their issues to go away, until they were needed. Now, not necessarily saying that they were planning on doing this the whole time. You never know, but you never know, about this devil. Maybe they were planning on doing this the whole time. But chances are that they simply just held these women there because they could use them as possible leverage in a future case where they had to take Bill Cosby down. Now, why is it that they're trying to take Bill Cosby? Well, there's a lot of scandals going on right now. You know, there's things with the war, about these rumors, these fake rumors of wars or whatnot. Plus, the most important thing going on right now that isn't being covered is the Pizzagate, or the pedophilia scandal going on in Washington D.C. You recently had a couple of issues come up. Basically, one is this daycare in Washington D.C. got caught literally pimping out children to pedophiles. Right? It tells you police have conducted a raid of one of the largest daycare chains in the Washington D.C. ring following allegations that children left in the care of the facilities were being pimped out to a D.C. pedophile ring. Right? Now, another thing too is this just happened in May 2018. Besides this issue here, you also had the former archbishop resigns after sex abuse scandals. You have these devils here getting recognized, right? And I know they're not necessarily tied into the government, but you got to remember these government officials, along with like devils like this that belong to the archdiocese, they are above politics. They are what's known as from the fifth estate, or the ruling estate, the state that rules the world. These would be considered your 1% and whatnot. Now, along with this, you have the issue of Pizzagate, which this guy's going to talk about really quickly.
It's already been proven and admitted that Hillary Clinton and her posse are connected with pedophile rings. For instance, the Clintons were very close with Jeffrey Epstein, and were involved with his plane, the Lolita Express, which on record was a pedophile getaway that he was running a massive pedophile ring. Jeffrey Epstein, look it up. Everything I say in this video is going to be sourced in the description box below. This isn't a conspiracy theory, this is admitted. Number 2, we have Anthony Weiner, the husband to Clinton's right-hand woman, Huma, who was caught sexting a 15-year-old girl, and we know about that. We also have, other people like Jimmy Savile, who was really, really close with the royals over in the UK, who, after he died, it was found that he was a pedophile. So, we have to understand that there's a lot of credibility in this, conspiracy theory, whatever you want to call it, that there are elite satanic pedophile rings that operate around the world, and they're all connected with one another.
So just like this guy said, there's a lot of crazy shit going on right now in this world, and that's being revealed. And that's exactly what's happening to these devils. They're being revealed, as it tells you in a... Actually, I take that back. This is I'm going to read Nahum 3 and 5. It says, "Behold, I'm against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and thy kingdoms thy shame." And that's what's happening right now. The Lord is showing the world the shame of the Edomites, right? How they're naturally pedophiles, and how they naturally do all this abomination. So what do? They try to set up a smoke screen. They basically take their old weapons or their old coons, and they basically throw them under the bus, and they hope that nobody sees the hands that threw them under the bus. And you can tell that this is a psyop, because right off the bat they're already starting to make fun of this guy. Right before he even goes into prison, they're already starting to make fun of him, talking about he's going to be eating pudding in jail, right? Basically just talking shit, saying that on top of all that, we're told that he will be getting vanilla pudding. So it's these devils. They're doing this simply to distract everybody in the world from hearing the truth about what's really going on the more important stories. Plus, they also had a bone to grind with this guy. Bill Cosby. And why is that? Because Bill Cosby, a couple of years ago, he tried to buy NBC, and take control, which was a big no-no. You see, let me start here. This right here is a story from Vanity Fair that explains how Bill Cosby was trying to purchase NBC. Right? It says Bill Cosby's big adventure. He's television royalty, but Bill Cosby thinks the median is less than cool. Now, having co-founded the so-called media insiders and thrilled the restless sharks in the mergers and acquisition pools, cause employees to make a serious attempt at taking over NBC. Powerfully, socially aware, and way out there, his entertainment's Ross Perot, Nikki Fink reports from the trail Cosby is blazing. And you see, Cosby, when he tried to take over NBC, he was trying to do it in a real fashion. Like, he was actually really trying to make it. And so what happened is the B system, which uses these networks, pretty much got pissed off. And this is pretty much payback now. And Bill Cosby this is why no matter what he did or what he explained, even though he wanted to talk and just explain his side of the story, he got taken down, right? And why is that? See, first of all, why is it that Bill Cosby wanted to speak? Why did he feel that he had credibility? And that's because he had made a covenant with death. But like it tells you here in the scriptures that these sellouts, these stars of heaven, that their covenant with death shall be disannulled. Let me go ahead and read. This is Isaiah 28:15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehoods have we hid ourselves. Therefore, thus says Yahweh, our power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and the righteousness to the plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and water shall overflow hiding places. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. And that's exactly what's happening, right? You ask this guy, Bill Cosby, how he feels about what's happened to him, and how he's been railroaded by these old hags who obviously got pulled out of prison or out of nowheresville, just to come and take this Jake down, because Esau needs a distraction to keep you from learning the truth of what he's really doing, what he's really pursuing, and what he's getting caught on. But pretty soon, you're gonna run out of stars and music people to throw under the bus. Pretty soon, you're not gonna be able to hide all these things in your media. As the Lord said, He's going to lift up the skirts over your head, and He's gonna make the so-called white people, or Edomites as they're known biblically, He's going to show their shame to all the world before He destroys them. Right? And that's exactly what's happening here. So, hopefully this video was edifying, Akim. Till the next time. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Akal Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. And Shalom.